Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the greatest recordings ever. Oh, and this one is one that is so near and dear to my heart, even though it's a little bit unusual in terms of repertoire. It is this. Fauré, orchestral music featuring the Boston Symphony Orchestra under Seiji Ozawa on Deutsche Grammophon. This is just beyond gorgeous. I mean, the playing is incredible, but more than that, the music itself seems to evoke something in Seiji Ozawa, who is, or was, pardon me, a wonderful conductor, but in some respects a gentle soul, somebody who is a little bit reticent. He wasn't always that way. I mean, he had his, big moments, like Girl Eater, for example. I mean, if you could have a big moment in Girl Eater, I mean, I guess you can do anything. But so he had the full package. But Fauré's music has always been regarded as something sort of special. Music for connoisseurs, music of great warmth and sophistication, but also a certain gentleness, a subtlety, an interiority, if you want to call it that. What you might call in German Innigkeit. That sort of inward quality. It all has that. And Ozawa had that as an interpreter. He responded to that quality. And so what we get is just an amazing recording of exquisitely played, magnificent, mostly gentle music. And there's a time and a place for everything. And there certainly is a time and a place for this. What we get here is Pelléas et Mélisande, the incidental music, including the Chanson de Mélisande with Lorraine Hunt, soprano. And it doesn't get any better than that, let's face it. Really beautiful. And the Sicilienne, oh my God, Jules Eskin, cello, gets like solo billing. And well, he should. That Sicilienne is so lovely. Oh my God. It's one of those pieces. It wasn't actually written for Pelléas and Mélisande. It was just written. It's one of those melodies that seems to have come down from heaven to the composer, and once you hear it, you never forget it. And you can't sing it back because it depends on harmony to make its point. The actual tune is kind of it's not much, but the way he harmonizes it, oh my God, it's very similar to what Franck does. It's a Frankian melody where, the chromatic shift in the harmony, just changes everything. It's amazing. Anyway, so it's an absolutely glorious version of the incidental music to Pelléas and Mélisande. Then you get Après un rêve and the Pavane, which has a chorus. And the chorus is the Tanglewood Festival chorus. That's a tune that sounds like the old Taster's Choice commercial. Remember? Times like these were made for Taster's Choice. Well, that's actually the Pavane. That's not exactly what the Taster's Choice commercial was. Instant coffee, Taster's Choice. Remember that? And they had a commercial that sounded just like the Fauré Pavane. Whether or not they were related, I have no idea. Then we have his Elegie, Opus 24. I mean, again, these are slowish, lyrical, And then Dolly, which was originally written for two pianos and then orchestrated. And this has like, more bouncy stuff in it. It's a lot more vigorous than these other pieces, generally speaking. So it adds a certain amount of and whimsicality, even. The Kitty Valse, which is adorable. It's music for children. And the final number, Le Pas Espagnol, the Spanish step, if you want to call it that, the Spanish dance. And there's a cat movement. Cats, where are they? Oh, they're downstairs playing. Marked meow. So there you go. It's really a lovely work. It's not a long disc, 56 minutes. Actually, it's amazing that it lasts 56 minutes. You think it's all short little pieces. Well, the two big works, the Pelléas and Mélisande Suite and Dolly, are, multi-movement extravaganzas by Fauré-ish standards. And the other three pieces are just, quite brief. But my goodness, it's all so lovely and beautifully recorded. And it's worth remembering also, of course, that the Boston Symphony has always been described, or often been described, as the world's greatest French orchestra, because its conductors traditionally have been either French or very comfortable in French repertoire, from Koussevitzky to Monteux to Munch. They really have the French stuff down in the most wonderfully idiomatic way, and in a way which I also hasten to add, you don't always hear from French orchestras, who can be kind of rough and ready. And if you believe that Fauré is a composer of great subtlety and sophistication, as I said before, then you want an orchestra that's similar. And nowadays you can get that, I think, from French orchestras. Back when Fauré wrote this stuff, you sometimes wonder if that French, precision and sophistication was overcompensating for the fact that most French orchestras really kind of sucked in the first half of the 20th century, with the exception of the Paris Paris Conservatory Orchestra, which could play marvelously when it wanted to, or the Lamoureux Orchestra when Markevich got his hands on them. I mean, you could beat them into submission when you needed to, but it didn't happen that often, or as often as perhaps it should have. So here we have really the ne plus ultra of Fauré recordings, and it is just scrumptious. One of the greatest recordings ever. So keep on listening, friends, and thanks for joining me. Take care.